And we are in. We're live. It's on the market. Liverpool transfer deadline rater. Are the deals hits or are they misses? We're all back in the building together. It's me, Ash Wilding, coming live again on YouTube to bring you hit or miss, the deadline day roundup for Liverpool FC. We're going to talk all things Liverpool transfers. We're going to go through every single bit of business we've done this summer. We're going to break it down for you so you get the best information. But before we begin, as always, I want to get you a little bit hyped. So, without further ado, let's run that intro. Okay then, people. Let's get to it. Let's talk all things deadline day. Let's talk all things Liverpool FC. Let's talk all things summer transfers. But before we get involved, we'd like to say hello to the people in the building. Ellis is with us. Spicy. Whoa, it's looking spicy, boy. We're getting those deals over the line. That's what we wanted to see. Midfielder coming in, deadline day. We're going to talk about that. Azan. How you doing, my friend? How you doing, Azan? Andy Walker in the building as well. Red, always red. Mio in the building. So many people. All you've got to do on the way in, just hit like, hit subscribe. It's that simple because you will never miss another show. Speaking of miss, hit or miss. We're going to round up this summer's transfers. We're going to talk ins, outs, net spends. Whether you think Liverpool have done good business or bad business. So let's start where we probably all want to start. And let's start with today's summer signing, deadline day. Mello. I feel like we need like a siren or something. We need like Arthur Mello. Boom in the building. So let's break down Arthur Mello just for a little second. Come in deadline day. We're looking now. I'm going to pop up at the bottom all the deals and the deal of the day that's been done. So breaking, Liverpool have signed Arthur Mello today, season-long loan. 4.5 million fee, loan fee, with a £32.3 million option to buy in the summer of 23-24. This is what we wanted to see. Now, I wasn't sold at the beginning of the day. I thought, why are we going for someone who's been passed from Barca to Juve, passed around, not had much game time, a little bit injury prone. But when I broke down his skill set, I'm interested in this one. I like the look of Arthur. Fits that mold of Gini Wijnaldum. We let Gini Wijnaldum go. So he fits that mold. Nice. He's great at ball retention, good with possession, great passing percentages. He's a dribbler when he needs to be. Everything that we want to see. Press resistance, amazing. Good on the press too. So this could be a great signing for Liverpool. The best part about it is that we've added the buy-on fee to the end of the loan fee because we have an option to buy now. If we didn't have an option to buy and Arthur started tearing up strips in the league, then we'd be extorted. People would be going, right, I want 70 million, I want 80 million. But no, 32.3 million, great option to buy. Hopefully, if he stays fit, shows promise, I think he'll fit into this Liverpool squad just nice. But I want to know what you think, the people in the comments. Let me know what you're saying. Do you think we'll sign Bellingham? Look, that's a pipe dream. Deadline day's done. Deadline day is done. Deadline day is over. So let's not worry about any Bellinghams. Let's worry about what we have got. Ellis saying 37 million buy option is so cheap. We was expecting at least 50 million. So true. Azan, Arthur is a good player as far as I saw him play at Barcelona. This is where he come to prominence. Barcelona, obviously, under the tutelage of Xavi, Iniesta. He was meant to be the next, but financial problems happened. He had to be sold to Juventus to try and recuperate some finances for Barcelona. And at Juventus, he's not had the best time under Allegri. Locatelli came in, started playing. They wanted to swap him for Jorginho, so he's not had the greatest time. But as Tigar says, Arthur will be good for us. Mark my words. Arthur's going to be a good player. He's going to be everything that we lost when we let Genie go. So really, really exciting bit of business that we've done. Let's see what everybody else is doing. The buyback option is so cheap, saying Ellis. So cheap. So cheap. Mello will dictate the play like Thiago, saying Andy Walker. This is what we're hoping. We hope he comes in. We hope he's got that possessional play. We hope he's got that passing, protective passing, nurturing play about him. Look, we're excited to see him. But what we want to know is, what do you rate this transfer out of 10? So give us your ratings in the comments. What do you rate this transfer out of 10? I'm going to give you my rating. I think this transfer alone, not the transfer window, this transfer alone, I'm going to give, I think, a 6.5, but this one could be an 8 or a 9. Like Tiga's saying here, the Thiago and Arthur link-up could turn this transfer from a 6.5 out of 10 to a potential 9, even 10 out of 10, depending on if he stays fit, whether he can slot into the team and do what we think he's going to do. This could be a really, really good transfer. Mio's asking, do you think Núñez will be good? We're going to get into that a little bit later on. We're going to talk about all the transfers. We're going to talk about people out as well. And where FSG might have let us down a little bit and pulled a smoke screen over our eyes. We're going to cover all of that. But Ellis, 7 out of 10. I can rate that. I can rate that. Azan, 7.5. We've got Andy Walker, 8 out of 10. I think they're fine ratings. I think 8 before we've seen him play, before he slotted in, maybe a bit high, but I can understand where you're coming from. Tigas thinking it could be a 9.9 out of 10. You never know. You never know, Tiga. What I do want to do, though, is I want to say bringing Arthur in at this point looked like desperation. We know that. But what I say to all you Liverpool fans, let's not rate him before we've seen him. Let's not judge the rushed business. Let's not judge FSG's and Liverpool's lack of a plan. Let's judge this player off when he steps onto the field. And speaking of stepping onto the field, he could possibly be fit for Saturday's game, Saturday's derby. We could see him on the bench. He's not injured, but it's just depending on whether Klopp thinks he's ready to go straight in there, whether we think he's ready to play. So we'll see. Watch this space. Watch this space. As I'm saying, it's going to go two ways. First, he comes in and plays like Diaz, or starts and becomes a Fabinho or Thiago. This is it. Fabinho and Thiago didn't hit the ground running. But what I'll say is, with a loan deal, you kind of want them to hit the ground running, because one season to get your feet under the table, you've got to impress. You want to get that buy-on clause at the end of your loan spell. So I'd say you want to try and get this deal done. You want to try and get playing time. You want to get your feet under the table. You want to start playing in cohesion with the rest of your teammates. Mio, I don't think FSG will be the best long-term option. Look, FSG definitely ain't the best long-term option right now. Not looking good for them. The fans are starting to see The fans are starting to turn that there's no plan. Do they love the club? Do they care about the club? Are they more interested in the new Penguins franchise? We'll see a little bit later because I've got a financial breakdown of this summer's transfer business. So please stay in. And remember, while you're in, I've seen some new faces. Mio, new face. Andy Walker, new face. Hit that like button, subscribe, because we want you to come back every single show. Remember, this is about you, the followers. So we're going to get involved with you in the comments. Everything you say, we're going to try and pin it up, have a discussion, because that's what these shows are all about. If you're watching this show back, please hit like, hit subscribe, leave your comment, because we do come back, we do look, we do listen, because we want these shows to be the best for you, Liverpool fans, by the fans, for the fans. So let's take a look then. Let's move on from Arthur. Let's take a look at the business that we have done so far in this transfer window, starting with the first man through the door, Mr. Darwin Núñez. So, Núñez. Let's break Núñez down a little bit. Let's forget about the headbutt. Headbutts aside, I want you to give me your ratings of Darwin Núñez. So let me know what rating you want to give Núñez so far coming into the team. His all-round play, his goals. He's been bought as a goal scorer. Now, he's been brought in for 67.5 million initial fee. That fee could rise given he's successful at Liverpool. So again, great bit of business by Julian Ward, who's taken over from Michael Edwards. So great bit of business from him. But is Núñez a smokescreen because we lost Sadio Mane? Is that going to be a big blow? Can Núñez keep his head? Can he keep his cool? Can he get the goals we expect him to get? Will he slot in? Will he take goals away from Mo Salah? Will he clash with Diaz because they play a very similar role? These are all questions that need answering, and we're only going to find this out in due course. But Tiga thinks 10 out of 10. I'm guessing you love Darwin. I'm guessing you love Darwin. Azan saying 7.5 or 8 for Darwin Núñez. He's what we've been missing, says Tiga. I understand what you're saying. A proper number 9, someone who's a goal scorer, someone like Torres, who will play between those sticks. He will be in the 6-yard box, but he'll also be running the channels. He does everything. He's a very complete player, very complete forward, physically good, aerially good, great with his feet, clinical. So hopefully we can see from Núñez what we're seeing from Haaland. Because if we're all being honest, Erling Haaland is turning up like an alien right now at Man City. So let's hope we can see the same from Núñez for Liverpool. That would be great, but don't hold your breath. It may not happen, but fingers crossed it does. Núñez, 6 out of 10, saying Ellis, a bit pricey, but has a lot to prove. So much to prove. Again, rating the transfer off face value, I would say it's an 8 out of 10 because I know what type of player he is. I watched him quite a bit when he was at Benfica. I know that he's very tenacious. He is hot-headed, which could play against him in the Premier League, as we've seen so far already. But one thing he is, he's very clinical. He's passionate. He's a presser. He works for the team. That fits perfectly with Liverpool. So off face value, I'd say it's an 8 out of 10. But based on how he could perform, that could change throughout the season. So that's why I wanted to do this. Give initial ratings, come back at the end of the season. Let's see what rating we give the transfers then. He's been great in matches he's played other than Crystal Palace. Yes, other than Crystal Palace. For those of you that remember what happened, Ali Hede saying we shouldn't have sold Mane. Do you know what? We need to forget about Mane. We really do. But we are going to talk about it a little bit in this show when I pull up the outs a bit later on. So we will talk about Sadio Mane, but we do need to move on when this season kicks on now. Once this deadline day is closed, that's it. Sadio Mane is a Bayern Munich player. We've got the squad we've got. We need to focus on them and see where we can improve. Come the end of the season, then we'll know if we've missed Sadio Mane or if we haven't. Andy Walker saying, can't buy Premier League experience like Mane, but we have to give him time. 100%. We've got to give Núñez time. We've got to give these players time. But at the same time, this is the best squad we've ever seen. So can we afford to give them time? Should we be asking for performances straight away? 67.5 million price tag rising to 85 million. I don't know how much time I want to give him. I kind of want to see some results straight away because that's big money. That's really big money. So, in fact, it's a Liverpool transfer record. So, do you know what I mean? If you're Liverpool's highest ever transfer fee, you've got to come with the goods. I think he's capable, but again, we've seen where his problems may lie. Mio saying 1 out of 10 or 10 out of 10 if we rate in a year. That's it. It could be 1, it could be 10. This is the one that's very unpredictable for me. Mio again saying, I think his hot-headedness last week taught him a lesson. So true. Like, did it teach him a lesson though? Because we saw him on the bench screaming, puta, puta, to the Newcastle players. That, to me, that's not keeping your head. That's not professional again. So it's going to be a tough one. But I want to see how he does. I've got faith in him. I'm backing him. I'm backing anyone in a Liverpool shirt this season because we've got to as Liverpool fans. But at the same time, we need to see performances. German Martinez back in the building. Big up German Martinez. Yes, a bit pricey, but he's going to bring a lot to our attack. And now we have 3 deadly attackers in our starting lineup with great subs in Jota and Bobby. This is it. And bearing in mind, everyone's got to stay fit for it to be great depth. That is great depth if everybody is fit because Bobby starting, Núñez from the bench, that's great. Bobby starting, Jota from the bench, great. Núñez starting, Jota from the bench, great. Jota starting, Núñez from the bench, great. The depth is unbelievable. And we've got Diaz, we've got Salah, but we've got Elliott and Carvalho as backups to them. So our depth in attacking positions, if everybody stays fit, and that's a big if, seeing as we're injury LFC right now, if they stay fit, is really good. But it's midfield that is the problem. This is why Arthur could add some class because it's the depth in midfield that we worry about. Is there enough quality in midfield? We don't really question the attack. Ali Hadeh saying, can't forget about Mane. He holds a special place in my heart. And what do you think about Arthur? Look, we've just touched on Arthur. I think he's going to be a great player. Like Gini Wijnaldum, he's going to replace him. He's going to be that press-resistant player, keeps possession of the ball, great distribution, good on the dribble. Might need him to look a bit more creative, to get forward a little bit more. Maybe those defensive stats need to improve. For those of you that haven't seen the show that we did this morning when we were linked with Arthur, get over now. It's the last show. It's Arthur, welcome to Liverpool. Check it out because we break his stats down so much, like from everything across the 4 years. We compare it with all the Liverpool players. So once you've watched this, don't go away right now. Once you've watched this, make sure you get over there, watch that because it's a really good breakdown of what Arthur can bring to Liverpool this season. Ellis, passion. He's a young lad that has the world on his shoulders. This is Núñez, by the way, people. So true, so true. Shouting at opposition is what I want to see, as it shows he is ready and willing to fight for this team. There's difference, isn't there's fighting, and then there's losing your head. There's banter, and there's disrespect. I feel like he's slightly crossing the line. Well, definitely crossing the line. If you headbutt someone, I'm sorry, that's a bit more than passion. Do you know what I mean? But last night, as an example, the puta, the screaming at opposition, a bit disrespectful. Maybe if you scream and you're celebrating with your team, you go a bit close to the opposition. That's understandable. That's passion. but directing it at opposition fans, I just don't like that right now. Especially when you just headbutted someone, you'd be keeping like a low profile, but that's not keeping a low profile to me. So we'll see. We'll see. Sidemen Clips in the building. Yo, Sidemen Clips, big up yourselves. Stay in the building. Hit that like button. I know you're probably subscribing anyway, but Sidemen Clips saying, if there was an injury crisis, a little bit of a shout. We have both Nunes and Jota for up front, but drop Firmino to midfield and have him play a similar style, just more back with then Jota or Nunes. I understand what you're saying, but this Bobby Firmino in a 10, Bobby's playing so well as a 9 right now, so I'd love to see Bobby just staying as a 9. I know it's tough to say, and he does fit the mold of a number 10, but what if Jota's injured? What if Jota and Nunes are injured? It's not necessarily going to be both wingers that are injured, but I understand what you're saying. Like, Bobby as a 10 could work potentially, but I don't want to see it because it wouldn't be as effective dropping deep, bringing the centre-backs out. He'd lose all that to his game and get picked up a little bit easier. Yes, sorry, but my name is Ali Hayder. It was a typo, but just call me Ali. Ali, I'll call you Ali. There we go. We've got it sorted. I like how we solve problems in the building up in here. This is my guy, the main man, Mr. Sean Dock. Big up yourself. Sean Dock, always in the building, always showing love to Kloppzone. So big up yourself, Sean Dock. There's something that the cop wants you to know. Another injury-prone player, Arthur Mello. No panic buys. Keep our net spend low. Loan players we will sign. Do you know what song that is, people? Because I'm going to sing it. You know I'm going to sing it. There's something that the cup wants you to know. Another injury-prone player, Arthur Mello. No panic buys. Keep our net spend low. Loan players will sign. What a song. This is my guy. This is my Sean Dock. This is my guy. Love this, Sean. I love it a lot. Sean, I need that as the Bobby song and it will fit well. So true. Si, senor, says that from Tiga. Do you think when Salah's coming to the end of his Liverpool career, could we move Elliott back as a winger, or do you think Elliott will stay as a midfielder for his Liverpool career? I think he's a midfielder now. I think that's what Klopp knows. I think Klopp has made his mind up. He could have just brought him in and played him right wing. I think he can back Salah up if Salah needs a rest or is injured. But Klopp really sees him as this central midfielder. And I said this earlier before, and we'll move on to the next player that I'm going to talk about once we spoke about this. I can't see a future where Carvalho and Elliott play in the same midfield if it's a 3. I can't see Carvalho as left central midfield, Elliott as right central midfield. It's just too attacking, too silky. We need a bit more grit in there. Now, I'm not saying they've not got grit, they have, but defensively, they're not known for that. So I don't know where they're going to fit together in the future. Maybe Elliott might get pushed wide once Salah goes, but I really think Klopp has it in his mind that Elliott's going to be a right central midfield player. Big up, buddy, Mr. Sean Dock. Ash, can you read my last comment on Nunes? Sorry, Ellis. Yes, I'll read that out. Let me just get to it. Anderson got to his head, but if I was pushed over and over again, I'd get back. Not saying it was right, but didn't blame him. He'll be fine. Trust the lad. Shows he isn't scared of anything. Again, yeah, it shows he's feelers. It shows he's tenacious. It shows he's passionate. But at the same time, everybody's going to try and get in your head. This is professional sport. That's the aim of the game. You've got to try and psychologically beat your opponents as well as physically, as well as tactically. And Anderson played that game so well. He played it perfect. Like, he didn't go overboard. He didn't do anything that was out of line. It was just one of those. Nunes lost his head. Welcome to the Premier League. It's not going to happen again. Hopefully not. The famous Liverpool is in the show as well. I think maybe Carvalho number 10 or Diaz role. This is exactly it. Carvalho definitely a number 10. When you look at him as a left winger as well, sensational. But Diaz so far, wow. He's player of the season. Without a doubt, Diaz is player of the season. Tiger, I think you've got a little crush here on Mr. Nunes. I love him already. He could become a fan favourite because of his passion. But again, we don't want to slip into that Suarez where you had all of this extra baggage that came with this sensational player. Suarez got away with it because he, for me, is one of the most sensational players that's ever stepped foot on a Premier League pitch. But when you look at Nunes, you're going to have to play at some level to get away with headbutting people every so often. Like, I don't know. I don't know. But I do rate him as a player, and I do think he will be successful at Liverpool. And Nunes is a wild boy. I love it, but he should be more cautious. Themba, 100%. Like, Nunes is a wild boy. So wild. But let's tame him a little bit. We don't want to tame him too much. Do you know what it is? It's like when you've got a circus, right? And you just come to circus for like a few months, but then you let them have a little roam free in the wild again. So he's like that lion that's in the circus. He knows what to do. Like Klopp's his ringmaster, and he's just like, whoosh, whoosh, like calm it a little bit, Nunes. Keep that fire, scare the punters a little bit, give them a bit of like a show. But then when it comes end of the season, we'll let you free, go and let your hair down, run in the wild, come back, get ready to perform again. It's exactly what Nunes is, and hopefully Klopp's the right man to tame him. I just want to say the people disrespecting Carvalho and Elliott celebration need to stop. They've been doing it since the academy days. Yeah, this is something I do want to talk about before we go on to Carvalho. That celebration, he's done forever. He's a goal man. Like, he's a shotter. Like, this is what he does. He's done this since the academy. Elliott and Carvalho were close. That celebration is not disrespectful. They didn't mean it in any disrespectful way. It's just something, a trademark to them that they've always done. So, yeah, we need to stop this disrespectful thing because, it's just not a card that we need to play right now. Let's respect how good they've been on the field for us so far this season. Themba also saying, I love the fact we've got a buyback option in Arthur's contract. So true. Like, this is what we asked for earlier on. We said, like, this is a good signing, but you need that buyback clause. And look, we've got it now. So hopefully, he performs well and we get to keep him. Let's move on then to the next player who we've not spoke about yet. Let's give your ratings so far for how highly you rate this transfer. Mr. Shotter himself, Fabio Carvalho. I want your ratings for Fabio Carvalho. Give me your ratings in the comments. I'm going to drop mine right now. This is a 9 out of 10 for me already. But I did say this. We had a show before the season began. And I can't remember who the show was with, but we did a show. And all of us on the show said he could be the one that surprises us all the most. Everybody's talking about Nunes. Everybody's talking about Haaland coming to the... But this guy, and Harvey Elliott as well, everybody was talking about him. But we said, this guy Carvalho, the way he plays, the way he's just like a street footballer, he's not afraid to get stuck in. He's not afraid to show his swag. He's not afraid to just be himself. We said he could be the perfect player that Liverpool are missing to take us to that next level. Now, I'm not going to put it on him so early, but this kid is special. This kid is one hell of a talent. So let's back him. I'm backing Klopp to feed him in the right way. I want him to start games, but if Klopp's plan is to do what he's done so far it's working as of now. So let's see what we do with him. But my opinion is this guy, by the end of the season, is going to be spoken about as young player of the season in the Premier League. He's an unbelievable talent. Let me see what you're all rating him. The star boy. He's such a star boy. This is it. I've said it. Star boy. I don't think it's a good signing. Have you seen his injuries? I think Sean Dock is on about Arthur Mello because Fabio. No. This is a good signing. No. Yeah, Arthur's injuries, they are a problem. What I said about injuries, just going back to that, is we've got so many injury-prone players. What we needed is quality. It wasn't a good injury record. It wasn't someone who's going to be a world beater. It was someone of quality. Arthur is quality. And because, yes, he might miss some games, but Thiago might be fit when he's not. But then when Thiago's injured, you've got Arthur now to slot in when he's fit. They might both be injured, but hopefully it's like a jigsaw and their injuries slot into each other so they're available and we've still got quality on the field. That's what we're hoping with this. Yes, he is injury prone, but at the same time, he brings quality, which we've been lacking a lot of recently. So hopefully we'll see. 8 out of 10 for Carvalho. So cheap, so young, so good. Comes in threes with Ellis. Woo! So cheap, so young, so good. Say what, so cheap, so young, so good. I agree with you, Ellis. I agree with you 100%. 9 out of 10, says Tiga. I think Tiga just loves everybody. I think they just love everybody in our team. Mio saying 8 out of 10. Themba saying 9 out of 10. Sean Doc, we've got to give you one of these in the building today. Ooh. Fabio hit 10 out of 10. I can't argue. I feel that way, but I just didn't want to give 10 because it's too soon to say. But he's just class. Top class player. And if anyone can't see that, you don't know football. Azan, 9.5. Connor Scarrett in the building again. Big up Connor, 9. Mr. Righty is back. What you saying, Righty? Big up yourself. Fabio Carvalho is a baller. I see him being involved in the World Cup squad for Portugal. I give him a 10. Look, he should hands down. If he gets the game time at Liverpool, he should hands down be in that Portugal squad. If he can link up with Jota as well on that left-hand side for Liverpool when Jota's back, Portugal, they're causing problems. They'll cause problems. Ali, sorry, just going back to Arthur, to be honest. The signing of Arthur reminds me of Kabak loaning in a player due to injuries and then letting them go. This is where I'm going to clap back at you a little bit. Yes, we signed Kabak. That wasn't a success. That was a panic. This is a bit more of a panic, but it's a thought-through panic. It's not a bad panic. We look back to people coming in on loan and we look back to Javier Mascherano. Look how that one turned out. We signed him. We kept him. He's one of our best defensive midfielders in the club's history. So loan signings, panic loans aren't necessarily a bad thing. It just depends on, will he get the game time? Will he slot into the system? And what's he going to bring to Liverpool? This is the interesting one for me. Arthur's the interesting one because we'll see what he's about. I remember saying on a stream that I'm more excited for him than Nunes. Then, but this is it. I said I was more excited for Carvalho than Nunes. Nunes, you know what you're going to get. Everyone was like, oh, what's Carvalho going to bring? I said, look, player of the season championship, like absolute baller. This guy in that Fulham team, like, whoo, he was a different class. Fulham's best player. Look how Fulham are doing now. Like, Fulham are doing good without him. Imagine if they had him. He was their best player last season. This is how good he was. Like, he's no joke. No joke at all. The famous Liverpool, 9 out of 10 for me. Such a good signing. Look, the championship. Arguably the best player in the championship. He was 19. And for 6.5 million, no risk, he's a good player. And even if he flopped, could make it back. So true. He's got time. He's got so much time. But he doesn't need it. This is what we've always said. This is what we say on this stream. Age is literally a number. If you're good enough, you're good enough. Whether you're 16, whether you're 30, I'm not even going to say 36, 37, because I know you'll all start jumping on me because of James Milner. But if you're good enough, you're good enough. And that's it. That's the fact with Carvalho. He's so ready right now. Saw him in pre-season against Strasbourg. I was on a semi. Look, he's a player. I won't go that far, but he's a player, bro. He's a player. And even if he only played half, his potential, it was half. It was worth it. It's so true. Like, if you think about how much he's cost, his value already is higher than what we bought him for, just because we signed a contract with him. We got him on a free. We did have to pay a fee, but it was technically a free. So even coming into Liverpool now, you're looking now at like a 30 million plus pound player. So it's great business already, even if he performs or not. So yeah, it's no risk. Let's get him in there. Let's see what he can do this season, because I rate this guy. This guy's going to be a top class player. Luke Chambers, all our signings will do as well. Looking at these four on the screen, it's not too bad. It isn't too bad. But you've got to take into consideration what we've let go as well. And have we improved our squad? That's the question I'm going to ask you a little bit later. Have we actually improved our squad, or have we just kind of papered over the cracks, so to speak? Connor, if we got Fabio in January, I think he could have pushed us on to get the treble. We've seen it, to be honest. Off the bench can get goals. What did we miss in those finals? Someone off the bench to get goals. We didn't have quality on the bench. This is why we've been asking for quality this window, because we didn't have it. If we're honest with ourselves, we didn't have it in the Champions League finals. Everyone might say, oh, yeah, we're unlucky. We had shots. Courtois was amazing. Chelsea's defense. No, listen. We just didn't get there in the end. I say finals. There was one final, but then we talk about not getting over the line against Man City. There was the Tottenham game. There were so many games in the season where if we had Carvalho, could have been different. Could have been different. It's like Felipe Coutinho. I don't want to put that on him. I think he can be better. I'm not going to lie. I think he can literally be better than Coutinho. He is very similar. I can't deny it. He is very similar style of player, but I think he's got more about him. I think he's got more grit, more dog, as G would say. He's got the dog in him. You know what I'm saying? He's got that bite to him. So let's see what he can do. Young, cheap, and that flirt is nice to have in our team. German Martinez, 100% giving a 10 for Fabio. Going to head off. Peace, Ellis. Appreciate you being in the building. Take care, bro. Make sure you jump back tomorrow. Look, this is going to be posted back up so you can watch the end of it tomorrow. It's not a problem whatsoever. Big up yourself. Big up yourself. Sean Doc, I'm on about Arthur Mello and his injuries. He did have a car accident in 2021. This is interesting. Something I didn't know as well, this is interesting, which might allude to why he had so many games missed last season and didn't play a lot. Very interesting. It'd be interesting to know, Sean, if you've got the stat there, what injuries he suffered in this car crash and whether they could be injuries that keep recurring and keep causing him trouble throughout his career. That's a great comment. Thank you so much for that one. Even though it's a panic, Klopp said it had to be the right person. So Kabak is totally different. This is it. Kabak was literally a panic. Kabak was literally who's available. We're just going to have to get someone in. He brought Ben Davies in, for crying out loud. Nobody in the right mind. No offense to Ben Davies, but nobody in the right mind would have brought Ben Davies in. So yeah, Kabak was such a panic. This is a panic, but it's a calculated one. It's a player that we know has class. This is a player that went for 68 million, by the way, from Barcelona to Juventus. This is no joke. Anyone that goes for 68 million, you better realize like they've got a baller inside them. So everyone knows there's talent there. It's just whether we can get the substance out of that talent. No, I agree with about Arthur. Just that little doubt in the back of my head, but can't wait to see him start. Ali, so true, so true. Sean Dock is just sending me the information across now, so I'm going to pull that up in a little second. What I want you to do, I want everybody, we're going to go on to Calvin Ramsey, but we've not seen Ramsey play yet. We've not seen Arthur play, but we kind of get the gist of him. In fact, we'll go on to Calvin Ramsey first, and then we'll give an overall opinion. I want you to rate these 4 transfers in order from best to worst once we've gone over Calvin Ramsey. So, let's talk about Ramsey, because the man in Klopp's basement, the man that can't be found, the man that we saw in London briefly but then disappeared again. Who is the guy? What can he do? Has he got the talent? I want to know what you think. What are you rating Calvin Ramsey's transfer? Has anybody seen him play? Have we all just watched his highlights? Is he going to challenge Trent for a place at right back? I don't know. I don't know, because where I go to with this one, and I always go to this, Nico Williams. Look what he's doing at Nottingham Forest. Playing so well. Look what he did at Fulham on loan. So well. Connor Bradley tore up the under-23 scene last season. Was amazing when he came in and slotted in for Trent in the cup matches. Let him go on loan to Bolton. 2 players that were probably ready to make that step up have been let go, and then we've brought someone in who's injured without any Premier League experience. It was a strange one for me, but again, I want to know what you're all thinking about this transfer. So please bang it in the comments. Let me know what you're thinking about Calvin Ramsey to Liverpool. Do you rate this signing? Do you not? Is it a hit? Is it a miss? What are you giving it out of 10? Because so far, I'm probably leaning towards like a 4, maybe even 3. I've not seen anything of him, so I can't really rate. If someone knows a bit more about him, that would help. So you can give us a little bit of an insight. The famous Liverpool, 7 out of 10. Good transfer. Selling Nico Williams, an older player who is a little bit better for more money. So made money and now got a younger player who you can then play and let him gain experience. That's a great point, actually. That's a good point, because we've got money from it. Similar style player, a bit younger, can get experience. Trent's not performing the best, so we might get some more game time once he's fit. I like that point. It could be a good signing. I do rate him, because you can't not rate somebody that got the Scottish Premier League Player of the Season. You can't not rate somebody that's got that trophy. When there's quite a few talented players in the league. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see how this one goes. I feel like he's one for the academy, so 4 out of 10. I don't think we've not signed him. Surely not signed him to play academy football, because then who's Trent's backup? Gomez, Milner. I think we need somebody learning from Trent for the future. We're gonna have to have someone like a Samikas to cover on that side, and right now we don't. Even though I would probably play Gomez at right back at the minute, because Trent it just doesn't look himself right now. So I'd probably play Gomez, play Matip at centre back. I just wanted to challenge Trent so that he can step his game up. This is it. This is what I've just said. I want Trent to be pushed. And at the minute, Trent is just not being pushed. Do you think I'm being... I don't know. Do you think I'm being a little bit harsh on Trent? That's what I want to know. Do you think I'm being a little bit harsh on Trent? Or do you think that Trent's not performing at the minute? Because we saw him against Bournemouth. Yeah, okay, you had a good game against Bournemouth. I get that. But that's Bournemouth. Anybody can play a good game against Bournemouth that aren't going to attack you, that aren't going to have a threat. So that match, I don't rate him off that match. We went back to Newcastle again, and he's doing the same old wasteful passes, walking when tracking back. Yes, he made a few recovery runs, but these lapses in concentration, you can't have them at the top level. It's not okay to have a lapse, but then put in 2 worldy crosses and everybody's going to be okay. You've got to be on the top of your game. The most important thing is that you defend. You're a right back. You stop goals. That's your job, in my opinion. Everything else is a bonus. But right now, we're getting the bonuses and not the basics. That's what upsets me a little bit. Sean Dawes saying, I'd have a good game against Bournemouth. It's so true. Like, you would. Anyone would have had a good game against Bournemouth. 9-0, like, they didn't even turn up. Themba saying, no, Trent is so good. We have to hold him up to higher standards. He isn't looking like his usual self. Yeah, this is it. Look, Trent is still the best right back in the world, in my opinion. But he is not at his own levels. He's very lackadaisical when it comes to defending at the minute. He needs to switch on. He needs to go back to the drawing board, focus on his defending. I don't know if it's a case of he's so young, he's won every trophy there is to win. It's like, where do I go next? But surely he wants to create and leave a legacy at Liverpool, because that's the standard that he's literally in Steven Gerrard territory. For when he finishes his career, he could be in Steven Gerrard territory, being known as one of the best players that we've had for Liverpool. He's revolutionised right back, so why not? Why not? But we do need to see more of those goals that you got the other day, bro. Woo! That was saucy. I love this. What are your thoughts on Trent Doherty and Ben Doherty, who I have seen have scored for the under-23s? I think good business and building the academy is a good way for us to make money and get good players. Look, we cover our academy team extensively. So if you want to know anything about our academy teams, get over to Kloppzone Instagram. We also have an academy show called Academy Radar, where we recap on the matches. We've got a resident journalist who works close with the academy that knows a lot about the academy. Trent Doherty, under 18s, by the way, at the minute. He's not in the under 23s, he's in the under 18s. Such a promising talent. There's so many promising talents in there, but again, are they of the level of what we are wanting at Liverpool? It's okay saying we've got good talent. Yeah, they're not bad. Like, they're a good player in the academy team. Give them a chance. Are they good enough to come and take a Núñez out the team and a Diaz and a Mo Salah out the team? That's what we've got to think. It's different if you're a Wolves or a Southampton or an Everton, because your academy players can probably come in and do a job and knock people out the team. But right now, if you're a Liverpool academy player, you've got to be performing at the highest of high levels to even get a sniff at first team football, which is why Bobby Clark is licking his lips right now that everybody's injured, because he's in and around that. Being in and around that is so crucial to development. And don't forget, Cade Gordon's going to come back in. Where's he? Is he with Ramsey? Is he in Klopp's basement? Is he with Naby Keita? Have they locked them all up? We don't know. Like, where are these players? Klopp, let us know. Ring us up. Let us know, bro. No, Trent is very lazy at the moment. Look, I can't argue with that. He is very lazy at the moment, and it's upsetting. It's upsetting. Ali saying, I've noticed just before we get a new manager, the current manager brings in a lot of youth. Just saying. You think Klopp brings youth in? I think Klopp's not got a choice. We looked at this the other day and we had this discussion. Who's he brought in? He's had 6 years, right, at Liverpool. This is his 7th year at Liverpool. Trent Jones, and people might say Elliot. 3 players from the academy. Elliot's not really from the academy as well, in my opinion. We bought him to be a first-team player. He came in, he had a few spells in the first team as a young prospect, sent him out on loan. He did so much madness on loan at Blackburn. He was unbelievable. Came back, and then he's been in and around the first team ever since. So 2 players playing regular around the first team squad from our academy in 7 years suggests to me that Klopp doesn't really give youth a chance. maybe you're saying because of Carvalho and because of these young players, maybe that's what you're saying. But when it comes to academy to first team, not a lot of people. Loads of people train with the first team, but we're not seeing the opportunities on the field. We're seeing a few debuts in a League Cup, in the FA Cup, but nothing more. So, yeah, it's a strange one. It's a strange one. Short on Doc again. I think our defence has fallen apart because of the midfield falling apart. Look, Liverpool right now are like one of those chew toys. Do you know that's just been around the block that your dog's just had its way, just been, when they do that with the head and they just rip it to pieces. That's what Liverpool are at the minute. The dog started with the body, which is the midfield. All the foam come out, puffed out of that. Now the legs can't, they're clinging on for dear life. That's the defence. We just need someone to come back in with a bit of class, a seamstress called Arthur Mello, a little seamstress to come in and just knit his way through the chew toy, reinforce it and bring it back together. That is what we need. We need Arthur! We need him to kind of bring this team back together. That's what we're missing at the minute. Yes, Sean, the reason our defence looked so good is because we were fluent in midfield. Why do you think Van Dijk came out and said we need midfielders? Because the defence were getting heat. He knows it's not the defence's fault. He knows it's because the midfield weren't doing their job and they weren't up to scratch. So he came out and he was basically saying, look, bro, I ain't taking the blame for this shit show of a midfield that we've got right now because that's what it's been. So props to Van Dijk for giving a bit of honesty because he's got so much on his shoulders playing every single game. That brother needs a rest. Like, someone, please, someone go and get Van Dijk a blanket, one of those nice foam mattresses, condition his hair, rub it, feed him some grapes. He needs a rest, bro. Help Van Dijk out. That's it. Hashtag help Van Dijk. That's what we need. Thoughts on Caicedo baiting us by following a lot of Liverpool players an hour before the deadline? He knew what he was doing, innit? Like, Caicedo knew what he was doing. He's baited so many people doing that. The thing is, did we really want him? Were you excited about a Caicedo coming? Not really. It wasn't something that got me off my seat. I wasn't overly excited, but it would have been nice just to get another midfielder. Two midfielders on deadline day, we would have been like, whoa, what's happening here? Oh, whoa. We've seen Friday, damn, boy, what's happening here? But yeah, he was always trolling. He did it on purpose, Caicedo. You did it on purpose. Sean Dock, I agree with your comment a few streams ago about playing 4-2-2-1. Think it would help our defence. Look, this is the perfect example, and it's a 4-2-2-2 basically. It's a box formation, and what we did, we highlighted it in a stat show. So for those of you that haven't seen this, go back and watch the stat show. We're bringing you another stat show on Saturday morning as well before the game to break down Everton's team and to look at our last game and where we might have fell short against Newcastle, where we could have improved, what the good points were. So make sure you check that out on Saturday morning. But yeah, this 4-2-2-2, this box formation, with Firmino in the team, it works so nice, and it can also work so nice with Carvalho in place of Firmino. Now, what it does is it gives a double pivot in midfield, which is Fabinho and Hendo, or Fabinho and Thiago, or maybe now Fabinho and Arthur, or maybe Arthur and Thiago. So many options now if you play this 4-2-2 of a double pivot. That's two holding midfield players. Then you've got ahead of them two attacking midfield players, central attacking midfield players that have freedom, that can roam right to left. Now, this is where Bobby's been kind of dropping into. Bobby was playing as a 9, but we saw him drop to play alongside Elliott, and they would roam in that kind of what do you call it? That area of doubt, of that space between the defense and the midfield. That's where they've been paroling. It worked so well against Bournemouth because Bournemouth didn't know what to do. Diaz and Salah adding the width and coming in from the wings, which creates width for our wing backs, which we know that we need. That's where our creative sources come from. We went back and reverted to type, though, against Newcastle, going back to a 4-3-3. Bobby was dropping so deep as a central defensive midfielder. It just wasn't working. They made it easy for Newcastle's defence. So this 4-2-2-1 would work so well, especially if you want to try and fit Carvalho and Elliott into the same team, especially if you want to maybe get the best out of Darwin Núñez, because you could play a Diaz in this 4-2-2 as well. He could play in that hole. You could play Núñez up front. So this is what I would go with, and this is what I think would work. But again, will Klopp change it? Is he known for reverting back to type? Of course he is. He's going to revert back to type. Sean Doc sent me some things on Instagram. I'm going to pull them up in a little minute. Great to see followers getting in touch with each other. I've had a nice little discussion with Sean Doc today. Again, if anybody's messaged me, I apologize if I've not got back to you, because I get so many messages a day through Instagram. So please bear with me. I try to get through everything, but it's great to get in touch with the fans and listen to what the fans have got to say, because at the end of the day, I'm just a fan. Everybody who podcasts on this channel, we're just Liverpool fans that want to be honest with you, that want to give real opinions, that want to represent our team with an unbiased view and do it for you, the fans, so you know what's going on. Let's have a look. Who's in the building? He's back. Me own fucking brother. Me own fucking brother. He's back in the building. I don't know why I changed from about 3 different accents then. A match against Liverpool is literally a job interview. Let's see who we get from the UCL this year. This is so true, isn't it? Like, you play well against Liverpool, that's your job interview. Look, why have we signed Arthur? He was the only player that played well when we destroyed Barcelona in the semi-final. That's where we've seen him. He must have been on the mind ever since, but that's where we've seen him. Yeah, like we said again, Sean Doc, he's been chatting to G as well today. Great chat on Instagram with him today. Look, all our podcasters are such nice people. We're not just coming on shows and pretending that we'll listen to you. We literally want to listen to the fans. We want to engage with you. We want to create a big community around Liverpool. This is why we do it. We love interacting. We love arguing as well, but we love interacting. This is what it's all about. This is what makes Liverpool the best club in the world, because the true fans can all accept what's going on at the club. We can all speak to each other in a certain way. Even if you don't agree with each other, we can all debate it and just have a great conversation. And that's what it's all about, in my opinion. But yeah, Sean Doc has sent me some things over on Instagram. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull them up in a little minute. But before I do, I want you to rank all 4 transfers in order, from worst to best, or from best to worst, worst to best. I don't know which one. We'll do it from, give me your number 1, 2, 3, 4. Number 1 being your best transfer, number 4 being your worst transfer of this summer window, and I will pull some of these up. So let me see what you're all saying. I'm going to do mine. It's tough. It is tough, because you do need to see how they go on. Do you know what? I'm going to go with our best signing as Carvalho so far. I'm going to go with second Núñez. Third is Arthur for me, and 4th Ramsey for now. That could all change. Arthur could end up being the best. Like, anything could happen. These could be 4 great transfers. They could be 4 flop. No, in fact, they can't be. They could be 3 flops. I genuinely believe Carvalho's a star, a superstar. I think Núñez is a superstar as well. I'm not going to lie. He's going to be great for Liverpool. So it's all down to what Arthur and Ramsey can do. Arthur could end up being the best signing of this window. And I'm saying that because if you look at it, it's our midfield that we're lacking in. That's where we needed someone. He could come in and do amazingly. Look, Sean Doc, I ain't never going to send them that. That's for me. Precious. We joke, people. We joke. Tiga saying number 1 Nunes. I knew you was going to say that, Tiga. I knew it. Number 1 Nunes, number 2 Fabio, number 3 Arthur, number 4 Ramsey. Themba, best 1 Carvalho, 2 Nunes, 3 Arthur, 4 Calvin Ramsey. So true. Then we've got best to worst 1 Carvalho saying Ali, number 2 Arthur, 3 Nunes, 4 Ramsey. Only reason Darwin's so low is because I didn't even know him until we played him in the Champions League. Look, this is a great point, and like it's great being honest as well, because some people would come on and go, I've watched him for years. I watched him when he was breaking through. I watched him before he even signed for Benfica. Yeah, them idiots. Yeah, those ones. Honestly, like if you don't know someone, you don't know someone. Ask around. That's why I've asked Sean Dock if he would send me the injury record and what happened with Arthur across, and I'm going to pull that up right now. So Sean's graciously and gratefully sent me a few documents to pull up for you. So let me just pull this one up first. Let me just get these comments off so you can see what it is. Arthur is ranked in the 97th percentile in Europe's big 5 leagues for pass completion and in the 83rd percentile for progressive carries. Henderson is in the 69th percentile for progressive carries. Elliott also in the 83rd percentile. Now, what that means is basically Arthur is in the top 3% of all midfielders in Europe's big 5 leagues for his pass completion. 91.1%. Unbelievable. And then other stats like passes attempted, progressive passes, which is what we're missing at Liverpool. Those forward passes, those passes that get you through the press. That's what he's so good at. He's so press resistant. Progressive carries as well, dribbles, completed dribbles. He was so high, much higher than anyone in Liverpool's team. Curtis Jones was actually second. So again, amazing stat. This is what Arthur could bring to Liverpool's midfield, but also what he can bring to Liverpool is an injury record. When we look at this, so when we look at this, this is what is worrying. He had surgery. If we just look at last year, he had surgery in 2021. He was out for 77 days. He came back, obviously coronavirus, but then distortion of the ankle, then an unknown injury, then another ankle problem. So it's clear to see that there is ankle problems there, which may worry some people. But again, like I said before, we're working percentages. If he's fit when Thiago isn't, and Thiago's fit when he isn't, that's the quality that we wanted. Quality and depth, someone to come in and be able to do a job in there. So it's not as bad as maybe we first thought. This is his early career problems, hamstrings, muscle injuries, not quite as bad. It's the ankle ones and the surgery that kind of worried me a little bit, because I'm sorry, you can't play football without ankles. I don't care what anybody says. Tell me anyone that can play football without ankles. And I don't want anybody going on this Paralympic thing saying, oh yeah, Paralympics, they play without ankles. No, you can't. Like, you need those bad boys. So much pressure going on them. So let's hope he stays fit. Let's hope we can keep him fit. Let's see what he can do for us this season. But there's another great graphic here that Sean has pulled up. 0 owner funding for LFC in the last 5 years. In fact, Liverpool were the only one of the big 6 to make a repayment of owner loans, and also the only club to increase the balance in its bank account. Took out a £72 million bank loan, high capital expenditure at 132 million. That says it all, doesn't it? We're not taking risks. We're not taking risks with the team. We're making great business decisions. And this is what we've said. We say great business decisions. We're making decisions that suit the owners. They're repaying loans, they're getting more capital, building new stands to increase revenue. to make the bank balance nice and juicy. This is why we're so mad, because they could have easily gone out and bought a midfielder this transfer window. But what did they do? They waited and brought someone in on loan so they didn't have to pay anything. That screams to me owners that do not want to dip into their pockets. And nobody even come at me and tell me, yeah, but we signed Nunes for 67. Yeah, but we signed such a... But listen, I'm going to show you a graphic in a minute that shows you that we have hardly spent anything at all this summer. We are net spend FC, like we've been saying, and it's embarrassing. So embarrassing. Yeah, where's Remy at today? We've not got Remy. Remy's normally the arch nemesis of the show. Remy's not here today. Maybe they'll watch it back and give us some comment. But, you know, we'll see. Another good comment. Even farmers look after their cattle before the slaughter. Do you know what I mean? FSG's fattening up the cow before they take it to the market. That's exactly what's happening at Liverpool. And for anybody that can't see this, it's embarrassing because it's there in black and white. We're not being backed. We're not being supported. We're just being used to gain revenue, to gain assets, to be able to sell to the highest bidder for a nice, fat, juicy profit. They're interested in the Penguins. The new franchise is what they're interested in. They've done it with the Red Sox. Great. I got bored of the Red Sox. The Red Sox are falling off a cliff right now. Then they did it with Liverpool. Great. Liverpool have done all they can. Now watch Liverpool start to digress because they're not going to back us. Now what do they want to do? They want to do it with the Penguins. It's just like, you can't break habits. It's habit. They've done it. You know what I mean? They've done it before. It's there to see, people. Phil, bidders. I nearly said, I was going to say they did posh there. I'm going to Philip Bidwell. Yeah, I'll Philip Bidwell is in the building, people. Bidders is in the building. I agree with you 100%, but we just don't know how Ramsey and Mello will do because they haven't played a game yet. Mind you, how could Mello when we've just signed him? There's a good point. There's a good point, bidders. Unless you're going to like get Mello on the pitch tonight and see him training, we're not going to know, are we, until he gets to the field. But in hindsight, or not even in hindsight, looking forwards, presumptuous, he should be good for Liverpool. He fits the mould. So we'll see how we get on with him. But before we round off the show, I wanted to just kind of highlight Liverpool's ins, Liverpool's outs. So let's have a look at the outs this summer. So our summer transfers, let's look who we've let go of this summer. So we've got rid of Sadio. Sadio Mane. Oh, right, that's the last time I'm going to cry about it. We've let go of Sadio Mane, Takumi Minamino, Divock, the Lord Origi, Nico Williams, Ben Davis. We've also let Grujic go, who has been loaned, bounced back, sold, come back. Like, he's just been in and out, and I feel sorry for Grujic because he's a good player. But these are the players that we have let go this summer. Out of those players, I just want to see what your take is on this. Out of those players, which one do you think was the biggest mistake? And I know Sadio Mane is probably the obvious one, but if you think about it, probably Diaz was Mane's replacement. When we think about it properly, Diaz was Mane's replacement. Then we've brought Nunes in. Which one of these players do you think was the biggest mistake to let them go? I want to see what you think about this before we break down the finances. Hi says HE19. Yes, people, get following HE19, Harvey Elliott fan page over on Instagram. Look, HE19, tell everybody I'm not a Elliott hater. I love Harvey Elliott. Like, tell them I love Harvey. Spoke to Harvey before. He's a great guy. He loves what we're doing as well at Kloppzone. He loves what Harvey Elliott fan page is doing. We're just rating him fairly because we know what he can do. That's all it is. Let's look at what people said. Grujic is Aquilani. This is so true. This is so true. I just want to pin this up before we carry on. Look up San Diego Padres and the fire sale of, I think it's 1993. Look at the film Moneyball. Look at the court documents in Supreme Court over the takeover of Liverpool and how Henry spoke about LFC. Sean, I know that G's alluded to this to me today and spoke to me a little bit about this. We are going to be looking at this and we won't be afraid to pull it up as well. So we're going to be looking at this. We're going to cover this in a bit more detail. But again, for those of you that haven't watched Moneyball, I have watched this and it highlights exactly what Liverpool are doing. It's like a carbon copy. So make sure you watch that film. Great film as well, by the way. Brad Pitt, Jonah Hill, I think, as well. Great film. Make sure you watch it. Grujic like Aquilani. Big up, fella. Yes, Jamie Phillips, Football Chats. Loving the show. Big up. Everybody get over to Jamie Phillips, Football Chats. Like, unbelievable guy. What a fellow. Great knowledge of Liverpool. Unbiased as well, just like we are. Says it how it is. How it is? I don't know what it is. Says it how it is. That's how we do it. Says it how it is. Mane hands down saying Sean Dock, the worst decision of the summer transfer window. Origi saying bidders. Ali saying Origi. Takumi was the biggest mistake. He could always come on and score. Mane and Origi now saying Sean Dock. Takumi Minamino, as he can fill in at midfield and play right wing, saying Jamie Phillips. Yes, Diaz was Mane's replacement. This is why I wasn't that mad at Mane going. I respect Mane for being honest, saying he needed a new challenge. He knew what was coming. Sadio Mane knew what was coming. He did the right move. We can't be mad at him for that. We can't be mad at Liverpool for letting him go because it made business sense as well. Connor taken quickly Origi. But what I will say is this guy, Takumi Minamino, should not have gone so soon. Yes, he didn't have a good chemistry with the players in the squad. He didn't look like he had settled in properly. But what he did do, he offered goals. And as much as no one likes to admit it, he was our top goal scorer in the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup. Without Minamino's goals, we would have left last season with absolutely nothing. I think the stat was, don't quote me on this, but it was a high percentage of games where he started, he scored. Minamino was growing. He had so much potential. I don't know what happened there, but right now, we're screaming out for Takumi Minamino to come on, to change games, to give Salah a rest, to give Firmino a rest while Nunes was out. Do you know what I mean? My dog stepped on a bee, corner taken quickly. Origi! I love it. HG19 saying we miss Mane a lot, but we have Diaz, which is a super replacement. It really is. Origi, we obviously miss him. He was the super sub, but guess who's the super sub now? Carvalho. Most goals from the bench in the Premier League so far this season. Here's what it is, baby. We got that little Portuguese sauce in the team right now. Fab Film saying Sean Dot Moneyball. Fab Film. Tegan, I love your personality, Ash. Appreciate that. Look, it's late for us all, but we've got to bring the heat for Liverpool Football Club. Sean Dock, we loaned on Minamino. He didn't have a chance. Never understood selling him. I didn't understand it. I don't know why, but there's obviously a reason. Nobody's clapped back about it as well. So there's obviously a reason. He literally got us the comeback against Leicester alongside Jota. I was so upset when I heard he was leaving. Look, Themba, I was confused more than upset. I wasn't upset because I didn't have an affinity like that to Minamino. Where with the rest of our players, there's so many players within our squad that if they leave, I'll be like, do you know what? It's an end of an era. Cut me deep. Like Divock Origi, I was like, what? Divock? Oh, even though people didn't like him, even though we called for him to leave, it was just like, it cut you deep a little bit. But with Minamino, it didn't. It was just confusing. It was just didn't make sense. Off the back of a good season, showing promise, it really didn't make sense. And especially because we didn't bring anybody in as well. I thought maybe they're selling Minamino to bring in a midfielder who we need, someone who maybe can play up front as well. I thought that's what we were going to do, but we just didn't. Which was a mad one. Which leads me on to this last point, and it's about fees. So this is for any of you that think we've gone out and we've backed the club this season. This is for any of you that think, oh yeah, but FSG they've got a world record transfer in Darwin Núñez. Like we've backed the team. We've done what we said we were going to do. Watch this. Oates. Mane, 28 million. Nico, 18 million. Taki, 13.5 million. Grujic, 8.1 million. Davis, 4.23 million. That's an incoming of 71.83 million. So keep that in mind, 71.83 million. LFC ins, Núñez, 67.5. Obviously, that rises with add-ons based on his performance levels. So that pays itself off. So I don't want to hear any of this £85 million crap that I'm hearing. It's 67.5 million because the success pays for itself. Fabio, 5.3. Even though it was a free, we had a 5.3 million transfer fee. Ramsey, 4.41 million. And then Arthur was a free. Yes, we paid a fee for Arthur of 4.5 million, but I've put him free here because we've also got the money from our Nihi sale to Nottingham Forest. We had a sell-on clause in his contract. We also had a sell-on clause in Coutinho's contract, and we've recouped some money back as well. Well, we're probably still waiting for it, but should recoup some money back from Barcelona. So that's why I've put Arthur as a free, because those two equal that. So that means we've spent 77.21 million. So let me go back to the last one. 71.8, 77.2. We've spent this summer less than 8 million net spend. Let me say that again. This summer, we have spent less than £8 million. That's net spend. So now tell me that they're backing this team. 8 million spent on a team that has come off the back of last season as potential quadruple winners, and all you've done is put £8 million into this squad. £8 million. That's embarrassing. You've put 8 million in. You've let potentially our best player go as well in Sadio Mane, and this is what you've done. This is how much they're doing for our squad right now. Let alone the money that they're saving on wages, because look at the guys that they let go. Wages. Sadio Mane, £100,000 a week. Divock Origi, I think Divock was on £120,000 a week. Ridiculous amounts of money. They've saved so much in wages because they signed Núñez, Carvalho and Ramsey to great deals. So someone right now tell me that FSG have backed Liverpool substantially. No one has a leg to stand on when they say they have, because they really haven't. It's all well and good building stadiums, I get that. Revenue, yeah, we can get more fans. That's all well and good building training centres. They need a place to train. They need the best equipment. That doesn't get us trophies and success on the pitch. Backing your squad does. And right now, no backing. The proof's there, guys. Less than 8 million. Less than 8 million. Sean, where is Remy at now? Because there's no defending that, is there? There's absolutely no defending those stats. The plain and simple fact is that FSG do not want to back this team anymore. They want to take their money. They want to go and build the Penguins or the Pelicans or the Peckers or the Pigeons or the Pussyos, whatever they're called. I don't know, but that's what they want to do. That's what they want to go and do. Is there possible that we sign Fabio for less than 7 million? Sign Fabio. I'm not sure. I'm not sure I follow that, Bogdan, but we did sign Fabio for less than 7 million. He should have been a free, but we did have to pay the 5 million to Fulham. But like, the proof is in the pudding here. So people need to start realise. Themba saying, what pisses me off is that clubs like Nottingham Forest showing more ambition than us in the transfer market, yet we want to compete with City. This word as well that we're using, compete. Liverpool shouldn't be accepting just competing. This squad with this manager should be striving for trebles, doubles every season, back-to-back Premier Leagues. Man City are making this league look so easy already this season. Able to rest players so they're fresh. Haaland is absolutely tearing the league to pieces. Liverpool should have backed the club just like a Man City has. Even Chelsea are trying to do something. Arsenal have done great business. Tottenham have brought experienced pros in. They've not broken the bank. They've done great business. Tell you what we've done. Broke even. Oh, you know what? Our cash flow is going to look great at the end of the season. Oh, you know what else is going to look good? Our spreadsheets. We're going to look like a team that's making bare profits. That's all that they care about. Numbers on the spreadsheet. Not numbers in the cabinet, numbers on the spreadsheet. And this has been so evident. So evident. Luke Chambers, big up. Completely appreciate this. Like, we've got to be honest, and this is why we keep bringing it. We have to be honest. People need to know what is going on. They need to know what is going on. Oh, guess who's in the building? Remy, your financial analysis is flawed. Paying for extension to the stadium and training ground. Our expenditure come from revenues. Look, it's not flawed. We're talking transfers, right? We're talking transfers. Money in, money out. Net spend, less than 8 million. It's that simple. Yes, we generate revenues and spend money on the stadium through revenues, and we get all that. We don't need to know all this business talk. What we need to know is, are you willing to back the squad? If you're not, bounce. If you don't want to back the team, leave. Sell the club. It's fine. Thank you for building a stadium. Thank you for getting us out of debt. Thank you for getting us to where we needed to be. Now let somebody else take us to that next level. That's all we're asking for. All we're asking for. Themba, hey Ash, you consider making a TikTok account with hot opinions? I feel like it would grow the page even more as TikTok gets so many views. Coming soon. I've already got one set up. So it's coming very soon. So stay tuned. I'm just trying to find a great balance right now between doing the live shows, between managing our Instagram page for the news, for the fans. We're also on Sporting now, everybody. We're going to create a group on there for people to join the Liverpool chat, to join our community so you can have conversations with us, know what shows are coming up, know what's popping. We're also working exclusively. We've got access to Liverpool Football Club. Even though we give it honest opinions, we love the club as well and we will support the club. We've got access to the women's team, access to academy teams. So we're working alongside the club as well to bring you exclusive content too. So yeah, we're trying to find a balance. TikTok is coming soon, I promise you people, but we're just loving engaging with the real fans right now. We love this. We compete with City and we're potential quadruple winners and they give us basically no money. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's it. We competed. Like, City, no, like, they let us catch them up and then they go, bye-bye, beep, beep, like Roadrunner, beep, beep. Like, they know. They're toying with us. Pep Guardiola comes out all the time. Oh, Liverpool, yes, they're good second team. They chase us. Yes, they keep us on our toes. They're just mocking us right now. Absolutely mocking us. And it's hard to see. I know Remy's spouting, but let's not entertain Remy today, Sean. Let's not entertain that today because we keep going over the same points. Look, the fact of the matter is FSG haven't backed Liverpool. It's that simple. They need to back Liverpool if we want to be the best team again. If we want to get a Premier League again, we need more than £7 million spent on our team. Net spend, Remy, just so you know. Net spend. What are we going to do next summer? Milner, Ox, Cater running out of contract. That's already 3. How are we to spend for 3 midfielders if we can't now get 1? I don't even want to think about it. Listen, Bogdan, I love you so much, but I don't want to think about this next summer. Milner, Ox, Cater. Now, these aren't players that necessarily challenge and are first team players, but this is more depth that we're going to lose. Milner's probably played more minutes than most people already this season. Keita, when he's fully fit, Klopp sometimes plays him over Thiago. What are we going to do? Who are we going to bring in? Are we looking at the academy again? Are we going to rely on Elliot and Fabio to play every single game? This is what we're saying. We need this depth. We need more quality. We just need it. No, we need it. Man City are a pain in the arse, just like Pep said about Liverpool. They're a pain in the arse, said Pep. He's literally not bothered by us. We're toothless dragons to him. Such toothless dragons. Such toothless dragons. Like, Pep knows. Pep's looking at what we're doing and he's going, ha, little men, they can't compete with us. It hurts. It hurts as Liverpool fans. But let's get excited about the signing of Arthur Mello to Liverpool, transfer deadline day. That's something to look forward to. It's a step in the right direction. It's a positive for Klopp, who deserves a lot more from the owners. Let's be honest. A lot more from them. He's got the backing of the fans. He's got my backing 100%. Jurgen Klopp has worked miracles with this team. So he's someone who's always going to live in our hearts. He started to be a bit more honest with us and open about things. So Klopp fully gets my backing. FSG need to pull the backsides. Pull the backsides, pull the fingers out of the backsides. Don't pull your backside out your finger because that would be weird. If you could get your backside in your finger, go on, Britain's Got Talent. That's all I am saying. I like this. What does FC Liverpool FC stand for? Financial cow. No comment. But yes. Oh my days. But this has been an absolute pleasure. We've been chewing it up for an hour and a half with you guys. We've brought everything from incomings to expenditures to outgoings to net spends to a little bit of banter with Remy at the end. But it's been a pleasure yet again, guys. Remember, we're bringing you so many shows every single day, at least 2 per day. So make sure you're hitting that like button, hit subscribe, hit the notification so you know when we're coming online. Tomorrow, we've got a whole host of shows for you, from Prem Heads to Liverpool Academy to Ladies Night and probably even more. But make sure you tune into Ladies Night because tomorrow we've got Liverpool FC women player Riley Foster joining us on the show. She's going to be an absolute revelation. She's a great person, great personality. So make sure you tune into that tomorrow evening, Ladies Night with Riley Foster, who plays for Liverpool FC women. But as I always say, until next time, people, we may not get the investment, we may not have the backing, but Arthur to Liverpool gets my full support. You'll never walk alone. Peace.